Alright, let's see what the new weekly reset is. Maps Inferno, okay, very straightforward, very simple. Doomed Offense, the lower your health, the more damage you deal. Okay. Rhythm of Carnage, melee damage is reduced by 70%. Oof. Consecutive melee attacks increase in power up to 300%. Nice. This bonus resets if no melee damage is dealt for 4 seconds. Okay. So, executions take 3 seconds, so that might be a bit of a time waster. Press the attack. Not performing a finisher for 20 seconds will start draining your HP down to 30%, but in return, finishers restore health. Good. Reinforced Cranium. Headshots no longer deal additional damage. In return, all enemy health is reduced by 35%. That's very strong. Holy hell, okay. Okay, so just rush on in. Well, this will be our first crack at it. Let's see how we go. It might actually be worth it to run a melee class, actually. Particularly if you're running like high-speed weaponry. Fencing weapons, for example, might be worth it. Slower, like, block weapons might not be worth it, but we'll see. And since we get HP back from simply doing executes, then there's nothing wrong with bringing a tactical or a Techmarine. Let's go Techmarine, since it combines both ranged and melee fight combat styles.
The grotesque Xenos has met its
For the Emperor! For the Omnicide! Reloading!
Where's our partner?
too quiet.
He's fighting something.
A better vantage.
And he's also terrifyingly underleveled.
Ravenel on the field, brothers.
And he's very dead.
One of us.
Melee champion, level 9. Not great, not terrible.
For the Emperor! For the Omnicide!
Together we go. The camp seems deserted, aside from some Xenos scumbags.
Talassa, you need to acquire the Astra Militarum demolition codes required to deploy and arm their ordnance. Source one from any soldier you see, alive or otherwise. Codes obtained.
Oh, that was quick.
Captain, codes secure.
The Emperor provides.
Proceed to the Prometheum
Execute.
refinery and complete the demolition preparations.
I'll execute.
Rearming walking. Formidable tyranid organisms evident. turning back. Understood.
Who do I have to kill? Blockage is right around here. The lifeblood of the Astra Militarum. Let us make good use of it.
I knew he was targeting me. I'm guessing they fought tunnels in here. Gun strikes count. Very nice. They count as finishes. Very good.
Restoring sentry to battle ready status. The Cadians are running out of time. How close are you to the Promethean facility?
We have been blessed with a swift arrival.
You are making good time. We are going to need it.
Subterranean detonation in the crude Promethean.
That will do.
Use the codes to prime the bomb and finish its deployment into the crude Promethean well. Cautiously. If you know what is good for you.
I want to see that zone from coming. Come on.
Prevent the enemy from summoning reinforcements. Our foes call upon their reserve forces. I can restore this sentry to operational status. Gunstrike ready.
Nope. Oh, they just straight up died.
Inserting fresh magazines, all according to the Emperor's plan.
Very well.
Rites of activation have been observed. The generators hum in the machine god's name. Server Crane sequencing initialized. Delivering payload.
Ow. My HP keeps getting drained.
Run interference for generator 4.
Where's that?
Generator 4 is suffering mechanistic palpitations. Provide service before components are harmed.
There we go.
X-axis aligned by the Omnissiah's will. Hurry it up, machine! Tyranids assaulting generator 1!
Oh no.
Biological incursion, generator 1.
Good timing.
Do not foul the machine god's blessed mechanisms with organic parts. They utilize visual deception to hide and ambush. Server harness gun
No.
destroyed the Lictor Beast. Activating tarantula sentry gun.
This is a very, very strong weekly stratagem, that's for sure.
Perform the necessary cleansing.
Probably is easier than even last week's, and last week's was fairly easy.
Train clear.
Drive train restored. Begin the chorus of locomotion, adepts. My axis line.
Coming for generator
Margin
2.
of error 0.0 nanometers. Blessed be the omniscience divine precision. Instability detected. Generated. Operator requested.
Xenos hunger is insatiable, but the Imperium is indomitable.
Demolition deployment sequence concluded. No errors logged under the omniscience watchful oculus.
Captain, it is done. Now let us watch the Xenos burn. There is an observation platform overlooking the cryptomedium fields. It will make a good vantage for your ambush. Aiming system needs recalibration.
Alright. Let's get on with it.
Waiting on you.
Prestige 3 rank now. Yeah, that's fine.
Reloading.
Probably just wanted to get his daily out of the way.
I can restore this sentry to operational status.
Just up and running. Alright. I'm guessing they probably faced a Carnifex or a Neurostrop earlier, which means that it's still possible to face one more. And... hello. Thank you. Yeah, decapitating stratagem is still very powerful. And I'm glad that they fixed it. I'm glad that they made the cooldown as short as it was always meant to be. That's good. And I'm glad to see that it isn't detrimentally impactful. Like your playstyle, in general, does not change. I'm using decapitating stratagem now, and it's no different than I did back when it was, way bugged. Its cooldown was way too quick.
Such havoc upon the enemy, the Emperor will see it.
All you have to do is just space it out. Use it only when you need to.
For the Emperor, for the Omnicide.
As long as you only need it when you need it to, you're good. Oh, and there's another Carney.
Restoring sentry to battle edge status.
Okay. Thought I was
Avenge every fallen Astartes. Units call for backup. Units psycho neutralized. Enemy reinforcements are en route. Tyranid leader beast destroyed.
Wait, hang on. Where my bugs? Where'd they go?
Carnifex detected. Ready your series runs. This tarantula is still battle-worthy.
Come here.
Silence the enemy to the fall and request backup.
Hello. Uh-oh. That's not good. Wait, why did you do that? Invincible bit here. Good night. Alistair, the bar. Hey, welcome. There we go.
Twisted Xenos carapaces remain.
For the Emperor, for the Omnicide.
For the Emperor! For the Emperor!
Come here. Next.
Could not miss if I tried. Not that it would make a dent.
Oh, that got good.
Gunstrike ready to deploy.
Alright. Can I use stalkers? Nah, regular bolt. Right. Kind of hoping. I really wish that we could have used the stalker bolt rifle on the Techmarine. I think it would make for an excellent weapon to handle like ranged enemies, and then you could, at that point, you could actually spec into the just having the regular the regular servo skull, sorry, the servo turret. It can deal with fodder while you use your stalker bolt rifle to deal with more distant ranged powerful enemies. It would be an option at least, you know. But like the reason why the sniper variant, right, the bolt sniper variant of the servo gun is so powerful, right, is because it covers, right, the ability to fight Majoris and Extremis enemies, which are the most dangerous ones, right? Like, and for that you just have to make do using the using what weapons that you have, right?
The bulk of the swarm is continuing along the predicted path. Continue holding.
I think you're just making do.
Restoring sensitivities coming from the refinery.
Now, where are they coming from? Wait, are that 3 guns? Oh my lord, there's 3 of them.
Come on! The Prometheum is begging to be put to use!
Halfway there, brothers. Keep it up. Activating Tarantula Sentry Gun. More coming our way.
screw it, I'll do it myself. Yeah. GG.
Battlefield sentry.
That's it, we're done.
Fully, we can use the Prometheum again. You are clear to detonate. Cook those rotten bastards.
Fuel, we will stop their advance cold.
Well, hold it.
Let the foul creatures burn!
Lieutenant Titus, this is Gideon's objective complete. Turning in biocides down 90% and falling. Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract. Falling Thunderhawk arriving at evac point. Ramp down and ready.
I will not die to our own trap.
Extraction complete. Returning to orbit.
Did that not activate?
Commendable work, brothers. You
There we
honored
go.
your chapter. Be ready for rearm, refit, and redeployment immediately.
And just like that, we're done. Yeah, this was definitely easier than last week's. And last week's was not that difficult. It was like the one 2 weeks ago with the double terminus. That one that definitely still rings in the back of my mind as like difficult weekly, right? Well, that one actually took like a lot of like effort and required a team that actually fully knew what they were doing, could handle themselves. The one last week was fine. Like there's nothing inherently, difficult about it. You could just things could go bad if somebody with the cursed relic just died off in a random corner somewhere. Yeah, things could be really bad there. But it wasn't too bad if people, could take care of themselves. Then it was never a problem. But this week is by far definitely the easiest of the three. Literally just walk on in and just, as long as you know how to handle combat, even like the melee nerf is like non-existent. You don't even feel it. The fact that you can still spam charged melee attack gun strikes, it goes a long way to not only ensuring your survivability, but it goes a long way to just completely negating whatever melee damage nerf was implemented. Overall, a very simple mission, and one that was very straightforward. We literally went in blind, and came out on top, no problems. And I get the feeling that a lot of people are, and in this one, we even had an underleveled, an underleveled Vanguard, and who, was somewhat struggling a bit with melee combat, and even then we got through just fine. He died a few times, sure, but overall it wasn't that big of a deal. So in the end, this is going to be a very straightforward mission, and we came through it all right. Now let's take a look at the build. Today we went with the Techmarine, using the fencing Powersword variant. Our primary weapon, we took the heroic heavy bolt rifle known as Deathwatch. Basically, it's like any other regular bolt rifle, heavy bolt rifle, just with a grenade launcher attached. That's all. Here are our perks. We spec into bits of headshot damage. The ability for shots to penetrate block stances is just useful overall. It's just a nice perk to have. But overall, like, you're not going to be spamming shots with this weapon. It's not like your biggest damage dealer, That actually comes from your melee capabilities. But before that, let's get to the pistol. We took the heroic heavy bolt pistol as always, Retribution's bequest. for the simple purpose being that it has the ability to completely negate Majoris enemies that are calling for reinforcements simply by shooting them, and if you hit them in the head, it kills them down outright. Whatever perks you choose to spec into, personally, I don't really think they matter that much. I take the build that I do because I just find it convenient to have a lot of ammo to play with between increased capacity and extended magazine, right? And it's nice to have gunstrike reload because this keeps because gunstrikes are a core part of the melee style that Techmarine is good at, in my personal opinion, right? And so that's why having the ability for your pistol to reload with those gun strikes is very good. As for the melee weapon, we took Gathalamo Crusade, which is the fencing relic version of the Powersword. Don't mind the skin, that's the skin from the heroic variant, but we just took the regular fencing one. As for the actual build itself, we spec a lot into melee combat prowess and both Power Rake and Power Whirl. The reason why is because both Power Rake and Power Whirl are probably the two highest forms of damage as far as the Power Sword is concerned, right? Having the ability to do that constantly while in combat is very important for both your survivability and for clearing enemies, hordes in particular. As for the Techmarine's main build itself, we took Precision Enhancement, which is the sniper-based shoulder cannon. I still think it is the best one to bring, personally, and it's the one I'm most used to using, and I find it very comfortable. Then we took Omniscient Axe Deflection, whereby after a perfect parry or block, you will take less damage from ranged attacks for about 10 seconds. Very good when you're busy dueling Majoris-based enemies or Extremist-based enemies, and the Minoris buddies are peppering you from the back. This helps you stay alive and survive that, so you can put your enemy in front of you, whether it's Majoris or Extremist, into execute range, and then you can execute them to recover whatever contested health or armor you would have lost from battling them, plus poking damage from the Minoris. Then we take Push the Advantage. Right after a finisher, your melee weapon damage is increased by 20% for 15 seconds. Right? This is very, very powerful for the Techmarine because of the fact that using this build, you spec into both Power Rake and Power Whirl. This does apply to Power Whirl and makes it very strong. For the team perk, we take Battlefield Repairs. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. Basically, when you do a melee execute finisher, even though it says finishers, it's actually melee finishes, right? On Majoris or Extremist enemies, you'll gain 2 armor shards back. This is very, very powerful, right? You go, well, why isn't this available for Terminus? Because Terminus executions give you 3 armor shards and all contested HP back. That's why this only applies to Majoris or Extremists. Then we take Designated Target, right? So the enemies hit by the servo gun take 15% more damage. We also take Augmented Ammunition Feed to get that extra recharge speed. Very, very good for this weapon when your signature perk is on cooldown. We'll get to that in a second. We take Strategic Gunstrike so that it only targets Majoris or higher level enemies, deals 20% more damage when they're more than 20 meters away. This basically allows us to snuff out enemies that are on high ground, who are worthy of note, and also it allows us to sniff out and snuff out enemy zoanthropes, because they have a habit of hiding on high ground or hiding behind other Majoris or other Minoris as well. This allows us to primarily focus on them and just take them down quickly. As for the signature perk, we take Decapitating Stratagem, right? Killing or incapacitating a Majoris level or higher enemy with your ability, your shoulder cannon servo gun, regenerates its ability charge by 100%, so a full restore on a 90-second cooldown. This is, in my opinion, still the best version of this perk out there. You can take Lethal Perimeter, it's completely fine. You can also take Omniscience Fury if you want. It's very good against Terminus enemies because it sets them on fire. For me personally, I believe the greatest danger is always going to be a mass amount of Extremist enemies, particularly Extremist enemies that like to attack from places that are difficult to reach, like zoanthropes, like biovores, and sometimes even when you're dealing with lictors and raveners as you're fighting other enemies. So this is still the one I recommend. Even though they did fix it before its cooldown, even though it said 90 seconds, it was almost like 30, like somewhere between 30 and 60. It's now fully 90 seconds. But that 90 seconds, you barely even notice it if you use this if you use your servo gun sparingly. So in other words, you only use it when you encounter extremist level enemies that you must eliminate. Then you'll find this perk is up almost all the time, you know. So I still go with it. I still recommend it. It's the one that I take. As for the prestige perks, the first one we take is Unflinching Focus, so that when you're activating Tarantula turrets, you are invulnerable to damage for that duration. It has its pros and cons. Since you're stuck in that animation, if a sniper lines you up, it is entirely possible to come out of that animation and be one-shot by the sniper. But on the flip side, it is also entirely possible to tank a whole bunch of extremists or terminus level attacks while you're doing this. Of course, it is subject to a Tarantula Sentry being around, but you know, it's nice to have when it's there. Then we take Furious Gunstrike. So after you use a Gunstrike, melee damage is increased by 25% for 5 seconds. Very, very good considering we can spam Gunstrikes using the Powersword. Right? Simply just do one regular hit, one spin hit, then Gunstrike as you're in the middle of your power whirl. Next, Stim Boost increases the amount of health restoration from stims by 40%. Very, very strong. And Defensive Stance. When you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 20% less damage from ranged attacks. This is a very nice passive to have when you're surrounded by lots of Minoris. And on top of that, it works together with this one as well. And that is the build that we took today. We were able to clear this weekly in one go, so it is very straightforward. I hope that you were able to gain some useful information from it, and I hope you had fun watching. As always, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And remember, as always,
For the Emperor, for the Omnicide.